Hi, boys and girls. Here is another ESP review lesson. Let's get ready and read our target. I can read and spell words with the WA sound. So a WA sort of sounds like a baby crying. It sort of sounds like wah, wah, wah. So whenever you see a WA, you want to keep those two sounds together. You, of course, want to fingerspell first and use neat handwriting, but you want to know that a WA, the W actually controls the sound of the A, and it sort of makes the A sound like an O. So you want to be very careful with this one because when you see a WA, a lot of friends, they want to say wah. And that's really not the correct way to say it. You want to keep them together first off, blend them together, and they're going to say wah. Wah. So we'll practice a few words. Here we have, let's fingerspell wasp, wasp. Notice how I just used two fingers. Wasp, wasp. Try this one. Wash, wash. Moving down here, watch, watch. Now be careful, we do use a TCH even though that's not sounding like a short vowel. So that's kind of a trickster word. When you write the word watch, you do want a TCH. And here we have wand, wand. So be very careful with your WA. WA comes together and says wah, like a baby crying. Wah, wah, wah. Let's practice some review words. You can see I'm getting into some pretty big words, but you can also see that a lot of these big words have the suffix ed. So you want to be very careful, but don't be scared because you know the base word and you just have to figure out what sound the ed makes. Remember, an ed can say d or t or ed. You're going to look for short vowels and double letters. That kind of gives you a clue. And you can try an ED sound. So if you try a T and it doesn't sound right, make sure you try a different ED sound. So let's put our fingers up and go across the top row. Here we go. L-A-N-D, ed, landed. K-art, ed, carted. T-int, ed, tinted. Now, can you tell me, going back to this L word, what is the base word of landed? Land. Good job. What is the base word of carted? Cart. Great. And what is the base word of tinted? Tint. Awesome. Let's do our next row. Here we go. Trays. Trays. Toys. Toys. Porch, porch. Notice in these two words, the S sounds like a Z, and that's because it's after a vowel pair. All right, look, we go back to these ED words. Do your best with them. Here we go. Fingers up. St-a-nd, stunned. Seemed, seemed. Coal, coal. So here we have two N's, which means I keep the vowel short. Here I don't have any double consonants because there is no short vowel. EE says E. And here my OA never goes at the end, and he's not, so we're good. Bottom row, fingers up. P-A-nt, paint. Bl-a-nd, blonde. S-e-p-t, seeped. So notice AI, never at the end, so he's good. BL is just our blend. And here we have the ending ED and the base word seep. So I would love for you to pause this video, leave these words up on your screen, and you go through without me, fingerspell your words, talk to a grown-up or a brother or a sister about base words, maybe tell them some rules you see, or just read them without fingerspelling if you're getting super good at reading. Try it that way. For the rest of us, and when we are done, make sure you get something out to write with. Let's spell some WA words. Remember, WA says wah. We keep them together when we fingerspell. It goes on one finger. Here is your first word, wasp. Fingers up, wasp, wasp. Spell the word wasp, wasp. W-A-S-P is wasp. Here's your next one. Wad. Like I have a wad of gum. Wad. Let's fingerspell. Wad. Wad. There's my W-A again and a D. Make sure when you made your D, you did magic. See? Up and down. Here's your next one. Wants. Wants. So I have the word want, but I want an S at the end. Wants. So let's fingerspell. Wa-nt-s. Wants. Wa-nt-s. Wants. W-A-N-T. S is my ending. So my base word here is want, and I added my ending S, wants. Here's another one that has an ending, but it's not an S. This word is watch. Like I watch TV, but I don't want you to stop at watch. I would like you to make it watched. Now, when you hear that word watched, you hear the T sound. But remember, because I have the base word watch, I can't just put the T. A T is not an ending. A T is not a suffix. So I know my base word is watch. I want a suffix that makes the T sound. So see if you can write watched. Here's how you fingerspell it. Wa-ch-t. Watched. I watched a new movie last night. Wa-ch-t. Watched. It's a big guy here. W-A for watch is T-C-H. So my base word is watch. And then my T sound was an E-D. Tricky guy. Here's your last one. Wall. Like I hang something on the wall. Let's do our fingers. Wall. Wall. Now this one could also be fingerspelled as wa-all. Wall. So be careful with it. All seems to make a little more sense to friends because you know how to spell all. So be very careful. I have W-A-L-L, wall. All right, my friends, it's your turn like usual. Do a great job completing your assignment. Make sure you're fingerspelling. Make sure you're doing your best to read. And remember, if you're having trouble with this, you can always pause this video or go back to old ESP videos and practice some of those words. Make sure you're reading at home. The ESP packets that came home at the beginning of the year are great for you to be reading in. So make sure you're doing that and just practice, practice, practice. Thank you for joining us again. Have a wonderful day, and you guys are awesome.